Yo, 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 what is up, chat? Mic check, mic check. Yo, y'all can hear me. Let's go. All right, chat. This is what we're doing today, y'all. Because I don't know if there's going to be any kind of, I don't know if there's going to be any protest streams today. So, yeah, we might just, we might just be checking out SpaceX tonight. And if there are some live streams we can, or if there are protest live streams we can check out tonight, we'll do that as well. But for right now, we're going to look at SpaceX Flight mission. All right, y'all. And pretty soon they're going to be launching off. I have their stream up already. But they're not going to try to attempt to launch until I think like 30 minutes from now. So right now they're just talking. Actually, let's get a little listen in and see what they're saying.
People all the way to Mars and beyond.
The Super Heavy booster is designed to launch, separate, flip, and return to the launch site where it can be caught by the chopsticks on the launch tower. However, as previously noted, we won't be attempting one of those catches today. Starship, on the other hand, re-enters the Earth's atmosphere at the conclusion of its mission, steering itself to a vertical landing or catch. And both stages are designed to return to Earth and fly again, making this the first rocket in history that will be fully reusable.
Yeah, and we cannot forget that between the two vehicles is...
Chat, this is history, chat. This is history happening today with SpaceX. I'm going to try and find more, like, usually with these launches, there are people out there watching. Sometimes they go live. I'll see if we can get like a different angle of this SpaceX launch. So let's see here. I'm gonna look on YouTube. SpaceX Flight 11. Yeah, we do have a few people out there. Ooh, we have like 2 streams right here. This is awesome. That's a space flight. That's an ad. What is that? What game is that? Looks like Genshin.
It's so big that it just comes back down, right? And so that's sort of the process here as well. I don't think it's too thick. It's probably like maybe less than a finger thick, like maybe like less than an inch or something like that. It's probably not.
So we're not talking big blocks of ice here.
Yeah, probably not that thick.
So SpaceX can't open an ice business with all the ice that falls off of it. Well, they do. There's a good amount. There's a lot of surface area.
Oh, they're talking about how much ice. Thin. Yeah.
Here's a related question, and I don't know if Ryan may know the answer to this one. Does Starship shrink at all given the temperatures that we're exposing?
Nice. We have a few angles here, y'all.
This comes from Noxon in the chat.
I'm sure there must be a little bit of change in the dimensions, just simply because this is, at the end of the day, this is stainless steel, right? If you heat it up, it expands. If you freeze it, if you make it really, really, really cold, it'll condense. So we do see some shrinkage. I don't know if that's the right term, but we do, and that's the reason why vehicles like Starship, you hear them creak, right? And that's simply because these fluids, which are so cold, they're literally making the materials change around them, which is where those noises come from. So yeah, it's something alive, which is exactly, and of course this is something which is accounted for, right? These vehicles are designed to have a little bit of leeway because SpaceX engineers, they're smart people. They know how to build rockets.
That's right, and the right kind of stainless steel, right? Stainless steel is not just one thing. There's a lot of different formulations of it. So Next question here, real quick from Herman Wong, was the black dots that are on the wings there, the flaps. Have we seen those before?
I believe we've seen similar, not to this extent, I don't think, trying to remember back, but we've seen hatches
people
before.
on SpaceX are
I
saying.
don't recall.
And have expanded our emergency response capabilities.
Look at the
We've
guy in the
activated
background waving.
high-quality internet for
Hello.
millions of people, including those that live in some of the most remote places on Earth. Starlink is enabling rural
Starlink,
school
baby.
districts, counties, and tribal governments to offer online access to education, telemedicine, and many other critical services, in some cases for the first time ever. And yet, a third of the planet continues to go without access to reliable high-speed internet, so there's a lot more work for us to do. But Starlink was designed from the very beginning to meet these needs. And as each new version of Starlink comes online, the constellation's capacity and performance increases significantly. The larger V3 satellites that will deploy from Starship will bring gigabit connectivity to users and are designed to add 60 terabits per second of downlink capacity to the Starlink network. That's more than 20 times the capacity added with every V2 mini launch on the Falcon 9. And then on the cellular front, last month, SpaceX announced a deal that provides Starlink with exclusive spectrum for its next generation direct-to-cell satellites, which will be capable of providing broadband
The
service
last
to cell
flight
phones globally.
that SpaceX did, I was watching that one as well, and they were showing how they put Starlink satellites in space. It was actually pretty cool though, the way that they do it. Like, we had a cam inside of the ship and everything, and you can see one after the other. You can see satellites getting sent out. It was cool.
Thank you so much, Tyler. So today's flow profile, we're looking to get our second re-entry with this iteration of ship. And prior to every launch, we work closely with the FAA and international air traffic organizations to efficiently and safely integrate launch and re-entry operations into the airspace.
And we've got a special guest here.
today.
No, Elon's
We're
right
live.
there.
What's up, guys?
How's it
There's
going?
Elon. He's
Good
on,
to see you,
he's on
boss.
Hi.
live.
How's work out?
Good. We're live right now.
What the?
Yeah. Getting ready for Flight
Wanna say
11.
hi?
How are you feeling for it?
Good. This is the first time that I'm going to be actually outside standing and watching the rocket. Because normally I'm in mission control and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
But now I'll be standing out in the garden there.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
it's really going to be much more visceral.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna feel
Great
it.
place
It's
to
gonna be.
watch.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be awesome.
All
We'll be in here this time, but usually we're out there watching. Yeah.
right, sounds good.
Good luck.
Nice.
And have fun.
Have fun.
All right. So that was an exciting cameo there. But yeah, starting with liftoff,
see-
we'll get into the flight profile here.
I'm gonna see
Super
if I
Heavy
can
will
still
ignite
find
33
some,
engines, 24 of which are flight proven today. We'll power
like
through ascent
TikTok
ahead of hot
streams.
stage separation, where booster will shut down all but 3 engines. Stage 2 lights as Raptor engines while still attached to Super Heavy. That is what we call hot stage separation. We'll see a directional booster flip and engine relight for
Gulf
boost
of
back.
America, it says it.
And we'll be intentionally headed to
Says
a
it right
splashdown in
there.
the Gulf with a V3 style landing burn demonstration today.
Meanwhile, ship will continue with its ascent burn to a suborbital trajectory, where it will attempt to deploy 8 Starlink simulator satellites. And we're also planning to relight a single Raptor engine. Then it's time for re-entry, where we're once again testing the limits of Starship's heat shield by intentionally removing tiles. The ship will also perform a pretty dynamic banking maneuver that mimics the path of a return to launch site for Ketch that will fly on a future mission. And if all that goes as planned, we'll conclude the test with a landing flip, burn, and soft water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So definitely another action-packed flight profile, Dan.
This is planned to be the final launch of this version of Starship, version number 2. Right now, we're actively building multiple next-generation V3 Starship and Super Heavy vehicles in the factory, kind of right behind us, so let's take a minute and nerd out a little bit. All right, those are going to be launching from Pad 2, which is nearing completion down here at Starbase. Both the pad and the vehicles are going to roll in really significant changes. This is building on everything we've learned from all of these flight tests to make a vehicle that we're looking to mass produce. Starting with the Starship upper stage, which is going to look pretty similar on the outside, but it's getting pretty much a complete overhaul under the hood. We're getting major design changes to its propulsion system that's going to accommodate that new version of Raptor, which puts out higher thrust. We're also getting energy storage upgrades, tons of avionics changes, a lot of things that will enable longer duration missions. One notable thing you'll start seeing on the outside are these new docking adapters, which we'll use when we bring two starships together for propellant transfer. That's a core capability of Starship that we're going to demonstrate next year. Bottom line, though, this is the Starship we're planning to use for all of our next major milestones: orbital missions, return to launch site and catch, reuse, propellant transfer, and then making our way to the moon and Mars. Now, Super Heavy, we've shown some of this off, some of this hardware already coming out of the factory. It has upgrades like this, a redesigned fuel transfer tube. That thing's
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Wait, what? Okay.
That channels all that cryogenic fuel down to Super Heavy's 33 engines. We made it bigger. It's basically a rocket inside of our rocket that gives us a faster, more reliable flip and simultaneous engine startup.
I don't know what they mean by a flip, but yeah, it sounds special. This flight sounds special. It's gonna be the last time they use this rocket. Okay. On the flight timeline, 1940 minutes in. Oh wait, hold up. This is weird. How do I read this? Oh, I see. Yeah, minus 19 minutes is whenever the next stage begins, or the next event. After it begins engine chill on booster and ship. That's probably in 8 minutes from now. How do I see the actual timeline? I'm really new to this chat. Apologize. I've never streamed a SpaceX flight, so I'm trying to find out, like, where do I see this timeline? Let me see, one sec.
The heat shield tiles. Let's jump over to Tyler real quick, and Tyler, who's got a really cool look at what's happening with tiles in Florida.
Okay,
Thank
so
you, Dan.
7 minutes.
Indeed, Starship's heat shield is the linchpin to full and rapid reusability. We can't launch, land, refuel, and launch again if we have to spend months refurbishing the heat shield after every launch, like they did in the Space Shuttle program. So, in a future where Starship is flying several times a day, many, many thousands of heat shield tiles will be required. So yeah, we need to get cooking on those tiles, which is exactly what's happening inside the fully automated bakery down at the Cape. In just 3 years, tile production at the bakery has surpassed the total number of tiles produced during the 30 years of the shuttle program. To go from the raw material to a finished tile, it takes about 40 hours. And today, the bakery is producing about 1,000 tiles a day. But it's set up to produce enough tiles for 10 ships per month, which is about 7,000 tiles a day, or a tile off the line every 13 seconds. So yeah, the bakery is well on its way to providing Starship with all the tiles for missions to Mars and beyond.
And
for today's flight, we've made a modification to the heat shield tiles. Dan, do you mind filling us in on what's being referred to as the Crunchwrap tile?
Absolutely. I always love to get to do a little show and tell. So we've got thousands of these heat shield tiles covering Starship. Now they're kind of all next to each other. There's a small gap in between all of them. You got to leave a little bit of space as that metal underneath will expand and contract. That way they don't crunch into each other and start breaking. However, that lets some of that plasma kind of seep through, and we see really high heating on the sides and then down on the metal. To help fix that, we have this, the Crunchwrap that everyone has heard about. So we take essentially that's called Vulcan felt that we then wrap around. And so as these tiles are next to each other, you've got a small bit in between that's going to help offset that heating. It's just one of the ways we're continuing to iterate on this heat shield, getting towards rapid reusability. Hopefully it's going to help Starship live Moss. You know, everything is just going to get us to that end state of a fully and rapidly reusable vehicle. So pretty much the entire vehicle has those on it today. We've done this on multiple Starships previously, but this time pretty much the whole vehicle has it. So that was special for today. All right, enough heat shield tiles. Let's go quick check-in on the pad. So if you did notice, we did shift our T0 just a little bit. We're now counting down to 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time. So we shifted a little bit as we were working to finish clearing the range. We are monitoring sea and airspace, both here over the Gulf and in our
timeline around
splashdown location over on the Indian Ocean. We were working with the FAA, a lot of other international agencies to coordinate all of this. Good news, range is currently green. We're able to get everything out of the way that we are tracking in the Gulf. So
Let's
weather
go.
status, I don't even really need
It's
to
gonna be
do. Not
dope.
a cloud in the sky, beautiful day, no probability of violation for launch at this point. We're not currently tracking any issues on the vehicle or the pad. You can see our fill levels are getting up there. We're almost completely done with our propellant loading. We've gone through all of our checkouts so far this morning, aligning our guidance, navigation, and control system, getting the vehicles ready for prop load, the farm. Everything's gone pretty smoothly so far. We got through our go, no go for prop load. That happens at T-minus 1 hour and 15 minutes. We've been loading fuel and locks on board the ship since about 53 minutes before launch. Booster started just about 10 minutes after that. We continue loading prop until just around 3 minutes before liftoff, and then at that point we'll be ready to go. So bottom line at the moment, we're looking real good. Again, 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time is our target T0, so we're going to keep counting down.
All right, let's
Great
do
news
it.
so far. Thank you, Dan. And we do say it repeatedly because it's important to understand, but these flight tests are all about the data. Data helps us build and fly faster until we're eventually ready to fly people and cargo at scale to Mars. That is our foundational mission and basically just the major inspiration for our work here every day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly right, Amanda. And our first
Thanks,
missions
Amanda.
to the Red Planet are just down the road, and we recently shared some exciting news. Starship
Transition.
cargo flights
All right,
to the
let's-
Martian
let's
surface
check
for
this out while
research, development,
we are
and
getting
exploratory
prepared, y'all.
missions begin in 2030. And we already have our first.
Let's take a look. Let's see where we can actually hold up. This is Starbase right here on the map. Let's get like a let's get a view. Let's get a view down here. Okay. I don't see no rocket. Oh, I see one right there. You see that, chat? La Padre Lookout. Let's go right there. There they are. I found them. It looks like a bunch of oil fields, huh? Man, look at all this land, though. Nothing but land. Let's get further out there. Boca Chica State Park. There it is. Okay, this is it right here. Woo! This is massive. So like, there's usually people like all the way over where we just were on the lookout. There's usually people right there. Like they'll start their streams and stuff, but I couldn't find any lives. It's all good though. This is cool though. I like this. This was in 2023 as well, so I'm sure it looks a lot different out there now. 2025. Wow, look at the stream.
Currently in progress, actually going vertical.
That's how they
as
want
we
it to
speak.
look. Look, that's where
Or
we just
you could
were.
be designing the Starship
That's how they
launch
want it to
sites
look.
of the future.
See how
There's really no shortage of future to build here. So visit spacex.com
Like, look how it is
/careers
now?
to see all of our openings if you're interested.
that would have been a
Okay,
like
now
a nice
as we
transition
head into
if they could
terminal
pull that
count,
off.
all eyes are on the rocket. Dan, how are we looking? Are we green?
Amanda, we are so green. Everything's still looking really good. So we've got a green range, not tracking any blockers there to launch. We're continuing to load prop on board the vehicle. We're just about to close out, so we'll close out again just about 3 minutes and 20 seconds before liftoff. We'll close out on ship, and then booster just about 30 seconds later, and then you end up with about 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those two stages. After we're fully loaded on the vehicle, the pad itself gets ready for launch. We do what's called pushbacks. We clear all that prop out of the lines in the tower and the feed system back into the tanks to get ready for launch. And then in the next couple of minutes, we're going to do our final GNC guidance, navigation, and control system alignment. We're going to arm the automatic flight safety system, and then we're going to do final kind of wiggle checks on the steering for the engines, which we might be able to catch a quick peek at as we get closer to those. If we need to hold,
okay if we leave it like this. I just don't want,
you know, I don't want them to be like 40 seconds. Built into our countdown.
Boom,
we can pause
taking
and
the
wait
channel
there
down.
for any final checkouts, anything that we need to hold for.
I'm going to be very sad.
As we pass that T-minus 40 seconds, a number of events will occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship switches to internal power. After that, the quick disconnect arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction shortly after T0. Now, once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, if any problems come up, we do still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened and then see if we can proceed again to liftoff.
Yep. However, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T-minus 10.
Wait, I think it's the same stream.
Liftoff.
Yep. However, once the water for any issue after that would be an
Yeah, it is the same stream.
On 3 minutes away from launch, you can see the frost line all the way up. We've just closed out prop load onto the ship. Booster coming up shortly.
Oh, I need to refresh here.
Yeah, in about 10 seconds we'll finish loading prop on the booster, and then again we'll have about 11 million pounds of that liquid oxygen, liquid methane on board the vehicles. Not currently tracking a reason to hold at T-minus 40. It can pop up at the last moment or after we pass that gate. We can always hang out there for a couple of minutes if we need to. We do have some extra time. We're not constantly topping off the propellant in these vehicles, so we have about a 7-8 minute window where we can wait for any final issues to clear. We're not currently tracking a reason to hold there. Again, our range continues to be green as we look at sea and airspace, both out over the Gulf and in our reentry zone out in the Indian Ocean.
2 minutes until liftoff. Well, 2 minutes, 50 seconds.
2 minutes, 15 seconds to go. A lot of things on tap for Flight 11. Planned to be the last launch of this version of Starship and Super Heavy. Once again, we're really focused on getting ship over to reentry. Once we get to that phase, we're going to dive in. There's a lot of exciting stuff that's going to be happening on our way back through and down to the ground, hopefully out in the Indian Ocean. Minute 45. Should hopefully be seeing... There's a quick wiggle check.
Whoa.
Checking out the thrust vector control, the steering on the booster. We use those inner 13 engines.
That's actually crazy, y'all. Look at
that. Doing their one final dance before the big show.
That's how they get direction.
And we'll do that one more time after we cross that T-minus 40 gate.
1 minute 15.
All right.
He did say that if they needed extra time, they have extra minutes they can use up.
Still not tracking any issues on vehicle or pad.
Happy Columbus, by the way, y'all. Happy Columbus Day.
1 minute to go.
Great day.
As a reminder, we can hold at T-minus 40. We're not planning to. All right. We're through T-minus 40. Let's listen in. Flight Director Ty Huntington back in the seat.
Come on.
Take us through the final
Flight
seconds
Directors, go for launch.
Go for launch. Oh, shit, y'all. Let's go. Looks like it's just going to happen. No delays, no nothing. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Oh, look on the left. Oh, snap.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Ooh.
4, 3,
it's up.
2, 1.
Oh, that is sick, man.
We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
The last flight. Wow.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Look at it go, man.
Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
Booster and ship, nominal power and telemetry.
All right, we are about 45 seconds into flight. We're still getting the rattle here at Star Factory. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on Super Heavy. As
let me see if I can refresh real
coming
quick.
Up on max Q, the point of
next on max Q.
I think it's up to date now, up to time. I did a refresh on it so I can get it up to time. Nah, we're still behind on this.
So at this point,
SpaceX
we've passed
feed
through that period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. The next thing we're looking forward to is going to be hot staging. So we've got 33 out of 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy makes its way uphill. Hot staging is going to be coming up in just a little over a minute.
Outside if I can see
at that point, we're going to see all but 3 of those Raptor engines on Super Heavy shut down. Our version of Miko. Most engines cut off instead of main engine.
It's great. So
and then after that, we're going to release the clamps that are currently holding Starship to that hot stage adapter. It's then going to ignite its 6 Raptor engines to push it away from Super Heavy and then start making its flight uphill. So in about 30 seconds, we're going to see the engine start to shut down on Super Heavy. You'll see them kind of shut off in separate banks until we've just got those 3 center engines that never stop running for this process, and then looking for 6 ship Raptors.
So what's going to end up happening right now is, so the ship is going to be in space for like about an hour and 10 minutes, and then at 18 minutes, there's going to be like a demo. It's a payload deployed demo start. So it's just like practice for the AI, right? See if everything's going right. See if there is any, mistakes. Look at that. Look at that separation right there. That's dope. I like that. Nice separation.
All right, successful hot staging maneuver. So we've got 12 of the 13 engines lit back up on boosters, so it's doing its boost back. Real excitingly, though, we've got 6 out of 6 Raptors lit on ship there, so it's now going to continue to make its ascent into outer space. Meanwhile, this boost back is happening. We're using those 13 engines, so everything, 12 out of the 13, and then we go down to 3, and then we're going to shut down for the end of boost back. That's sending Super Heavy back towards its planned splashdown zone in the Gulf.
Look at the middle feed. Did you see that?
Right after we finish this boost back burn, we're also going to separate the hot stage. This will be the final time that we're doing this. All right, there's the end of the boost back burn. We should be seeing the hot stage.
The hot stage.
So the hot stage separates. It's going to make its way down, also splash down in the Gulf. In the meantime, though, these 6 ship Raptors are going to continue firing for about 5 more minutes. Next up for the booster, though, is going to be its landing burn. There's a cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back in. All right, so for booster, this is one of the main things we're trying to get is going to be this landing burn. So you can see the hot stage kind of making its way towards the left side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that prop dump happening.
You see that? It passed right behind it.
They look like they're close together, but there's a good amount of distance between them. And the hot stage will go down and splash down in the Gulf while the booster comes back for its landing burn.
Starship is on nominal trajectory.
All right. Looking good on our trajectory, looking
Look at
good
the
on
middle
everything.
feed.
Jake and Amanda, you guys with me down there?
I'm with you, bro.
Yeah, definitely. The crowd is gathering over here in the office. You can definitely feel the energy in here. Great to see that booster is making its way down to the splashdown zone in the Gulf.
Yeah, the shaking down here was absolutely nuts. The windows are still there, still intact. So that was pretty awesome. But yeah, booster's coming down. We're at about 30 kilometers. All right, yeah, and as we approach that landing, just like tower catches, we will be doing a 13-engine landing burn to slow down. This time it will be in a V3 configuration.
Yo, Lulaboom!
And as we're starting to get into the denser part of the atmosphere, the booster is using 4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through atmospheric entry towards its landing site.
And we're just about 20 seconds away from landing burn start, where we'll first ignite the
Flight
center
11.
13 engines, then bring that down to 5 to slow down the booster for landing. And finally, that will come down to 3, and we'll cut all of them off while
Starship
we're still
rockets,
about
bro.
200 meters in the air. So booster is going to see a bit of a
Look at that.
part of it.
Booster landing.
Self-landing rocket. I mean, come on, man. You have to admit it. Like, you have to. That is the coolest shit, dude. Self-landing rocket. Look at this middle feed, though.
Booster landing burn shut down.
And there we heard it, booster landing burn shut down. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3 demonstration, and into the water we go.
Nice.
Wow, that was absolutely awesome. If you can even hear us right now, congrats to the whole SpaceX team. So far, so good for today. That was incredible.
There's still more, though.
All right, great stuff, guys. I'm jealous of the crowd. All right, back to ship. Ship's still making its way. We've got a little under 2 minutes left in this ascent burn, so we've got all 6 Raptor engines still firing.
This one didn't land.
So the next major milestone we're going to be looking for is
it did
SECO.
land. It
That's
landed
our
in the
second
ocean,
stage
but
engine
still.
cutoff. That's should be coming right at about 8 minutes and 58 seconds into flight, so we've got about 1:20 still to go. Really cool to see booster go through that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. That's mimicking what we're going to be hopefully doing.
It's just all the
we
same.
just got our sonic boom. Sounds like from the booster coming back.
What the?
All right, less than a minute to go. So we are going to see the 3 RVACs, the vacuum optimized engines, shut down first, and then we'll shut down those 3 center engines. So we should be a little under a minute until SECO. Just a reminder, this is putting us into a suborbital trajectory, so we're intentionally just going slow enough that we're not going to achieve full orbit. This puts us on a course where those engines shut off, and no matter what, we're coming back.
Starship is in terminal guidance.
In the Indian Ocean. All right, terminal guidance. So we should start seeing the
Look at that. Look at that
shutdowns
middle
come up
feed.
in just a couple seconds.
God, that looks
Less
crazy.
than 30 seconds to go in this ship ascent burn.
The main feed that we're listening to is behind by 10 seconds, but it's like the best looking one. So.
All right, RVACs have shut off.
Ooh.
3 more to go.
Engine cut off.
Ship engine cutoff.
There it is. You know what? Let me do this. Maybe.
All right. All ship Raptors have shut
Nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
You just heard nominal orbital insertion, so we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot planned for it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy make its way to the water, but I'm excited to see what ship can do in space. How's everybody doing down there?
Wait, he's up there? I'm just playing. Yep, it's in space.
Yeah, if you could hear the crowd behind us this whole time, people are definitely happy with how the day's been panning out so far. Definitely exciting to see Starship safely in space, and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today.
Yeah, and we guaranteed it at the start of the show, but it has been an awesome day so far. It's crazy. All this has happened in just 10 minutes. All the objectives were met on the booster, including that V3 style landing burn. So now all eyes are on the ship as we get ready for our in-space objectives. But we've got a few minutes until that next milestone, so sit tight, enjoy the views, enjoy the space jams. We'll be back at T plus 16 minutes for payload deploy.
We'll see what that entails, chat. Yeah, that's not gonna happen for another like 8 minutes. So yeah, I think like I don't even know what it means. Like what I don't know what the payload is supposed to be, but it's a demo. But I don't know what exactly is the mission. But we're gonna find out regardless. Okay, it's gonna be dope. Damn, my camera. I look. It's too dark. Let me see. Let me turn the light on. I guess turn the light up. Is that better? That's a little bit better. Yeah. So look, we went live. I didn't want to miss a day. So, and I did not want to go live just because there weren't any protests. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna watch this SpaceX launch. I might as well just go live and watch it with stream. That would be the appropriate thing to do since I'm a streamer now. But if there are any protests happening later on the night, you bet your butt I'm gonna be live. I've been looking though, like I have been looking for protests, but there are no one's live on it. Nobody. You know, yesterday the Portland naked bike ride, that was making the rounds all over social media. Like even my parents were like, "What did you see all that crazy stuff happening in Portland? Naked bike ride?" Like, yep. And they use Facebook. So that was definitely making the rounds, man. Trump had a speech this morning for the hostage release. All the hostages that got released from Hamas in Gaza. I should have streamed that too, but man, it was too early for me. Yeah, there ain't like nothing happening. Maybe later tonight though, like later tonight.
Do you have questions? What are we going to talk about for the next
we have lots
hour
of
or
questions.
so?
Well,
45 minutes.
Yeah, just vibing right now, but there's a lot of things going on, right? Lon?
Right.
Yes, there are quite a bit going on. And let me ask you, Scott, what are you looking for with this mission? I mean, obviously you know what's going to happen, but what's the importance of today? Like, why is SpaceX repeating a lot of what they did last time?
Well, I mean, I think they're repeating a lot of stuff that they did last time simply because this is the last of the V2s and they don't see any sense in pushing further. So what they're going to do is demonstrate an engine relight again because they need to be really, really certain that the engine relights are consistent if they're going to commit to it for an orbital mission. So if they get this one, the V3 debut, that would be 3 in a row. That would be pretty good odds of progressing to a full orbital launch. So I think that's like the most important thing for this to demonstrate. They're going to be pushing the limits again on...
There should be 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes left to go, and we should see what this demo has for us, chat. Wait, hold up. Success, payload. Yeah, 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes, and it says payload deploy demo start, but I don't even know if we get to see that. They didn't mention it at all, the people that were just talking. KGW News? Huh.
It's a little risque.
This isn't what Trump is saying. Trump is saying something right now.
In Israel, but the people were fantastic. Really fantastic.
Spoke to Egypt.
She can ask more questions. This one.
I guess we can throw up a little.
You talked to President El-Sisi, and you spoke about in that room how
Trump
Egypt
appearance
has a
right
low
here.
crime, and you said it's all about leadership. You talked about.
They're very strong on crime.
You talked about some of the governors.
You wouldn't believe how strong, but they are very strong. But they don't have the kind of crime.
So that was really.
They may have other kinds of crime, but they're violent.
Right on the money with
Back
this
to
trajectory.
SpaceX.
Now we're ready to
2 more
start
minutes.
tackling a couple of in-space objectives. So next up, we are currently venting down the nose cone, essentially the payload area of Starship, as we get ready to open up this payload door. We were able to do this successfully for the very first time on our last flight, on Flight 10.
I saw that.
Hal got ahead of me. Looks like he's opening up the payload door already.
They did this for real last time, I'm pretty sure. They were sending off Starlink satellites.
All right, looks like we got the door open.
Yeah, they're satellites, but I don't know if.
All right, so payload door is open. Next up, gonna be to start deploying these Starlink simulators.
Starlink simulators. What the hell does that mean?
They are roughly the same size as the V3 Starlink satellites that Starship's going to be carrying.
Oh, they're just upgraded
pretty crazy
Starlink
capacity. We'll run through the numbers in a little
satellites. Basically,
bit.
they're
We
just
were able to do
upgraded
this for the very
Starlinks.
first time ever on our last flight, and so this will be another test. We made a couple of tweaks to the rails for deploying this based off of what we saw last time, but excited to see these get out the door. Our next iteration of Starship's also going to have kind of a more powerful PEZ. It's going to deploy these at a little bit faster speed, but looking to see our next demonstration of this. Hopefully in the next couple of seconds, we should start seeing them move out the door. I mean, that view on your left, so you're basically, that would be if you were sitting at the very top of the nose cone looking down. So there's kind of a short stack. There's 4 on either side, so 8 total. When we start flying Starlinks, for their actual deploy missions, we're going to be carrying stacks of about 60. So much larger stack once we start flying these operationally, but still doing a little bit of a short just for this payload deployed today.
Looks like we got a little bit of movement there, Dan.
Coax it out. Get it moving, Jake.
There we go. All right, first one going out. All right, first one's deployed. Getting ready for the second one here. We do a little reset back to the center position.
Yeah, it takes about a minute for each one.
smooth too. They made a couple of tweaks to those rails. If you watched the last ones, it had a couple of bumps on the way out, but moving out super clean this time.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the show, but definitely worth repeating, Starship will deploy Starlink's more advanced V3 satellites, adding 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch does today. Just incredible.
Yeah, and anybody that's been following Starship, you know, Starlink's kind of the MVP for these flight tests, where it's not only giving us the views we're seeing right now, but also just real-time data through every phase of flight. So we've got a couple dozen cameras on Starship. We've also got a bunch of cameras spread across the globe, including out in the Indian Ocean, where we've got our fun buoys floating. There goes another one. And I mean, we're using Starlink to bring all of this together. It's our drone shots you see here from our great team down here at Starbase, all connected. So Starlink not only giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody along for all these Starship flights. I think that's number 4. Somebody check my math. Okay, we've got 4 Starlink terminals on the outside of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation. And through that, we actually get about 120 megabits of bandwidth for our downlink. That's our real-time HD video, all of our telemetry. So it's not just kind of giving us these cool views inside, but it's giving all that engineering data in real time, including re-entry, when normally a plasma layer builds up and blocks you out. Starlink, powerful enough of a frequency that we're able to kind of punch through that and still get that live view. All right, next one out the door. There we go.
All right, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people around the world, many of who have never had connectivity before. Oh. Right. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets, with over 7 million active customers and counting. To meet the global growing demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory over in Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard Kit.
Yeah, and one thing to note about this satellite deploy is that they will be following the same suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy sats will not be going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on re-entry.
All right, couple more to go. I promise one of these days we'll deploy in daylight. But we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry views
longer than expected
for the daytime.
But I'm back. Man, I missed it. I was talking right now to my fam. I missed it. Da, 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 da.
All right, I think we got one more to go.
There it goes. New SpaceX demo satellites. Or I should say Starlink satellites.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including Raptor Relight at about T plus 37 minutes. That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown.
Look at that, man.
So with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us.
USA.
All right, with that payload door closed, we're gonna sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams. Again, we'll be back in just a few minutes for Raptor Relight, and then head back for reentry.
The space jams. Nice. We can't listen to any space jams though, chat. I do apologize for that one. We just can't do it, y'all. But let me see something real quick. It may be. Nope. There's no protest happening. SpaceX. All right, let's listen to what Trump's saying over here.
DC calling for a two-state solution, an independent Palestinian state.
We're talking about a different plan. I'm talking about something very much different. We're talking about rebuilding Gaza. I'm not talking about single state or double state or two-state. We're talking about the rebuilding of Gaza.
What's the road ahead for governing
Gaza?
Gaza?
Have to see. I mean, a lot of people like the one-state solution. Some people like the two-state solutions. We'll have to see. I haven't commented on that.
How do you see bridging that gap, though? Because you have the Arab countries.
At some point, I'll decide what I think is right, but I'd be in coordination with other states and other countries.
And are you satisfied? I mean, some people might say it feels premature declaring peace for the whole Middle East. 3,000 years of peace and so on.
You want more people to be killed? What do you want? Another 300,000-400,000 people to be killed? Is that what you're looking for?
But in terms of the risks in Gaza, we're already seeing
the risk. So you mean let them fight on for another couple of years and let some more buildings fall down on top of people and keep it going? No, we did it the right way. We did it. I think our timing was perfect, actually.
In terms of
you don't really mean that. You mean you want them to fight on, right?
I'm just asking about the phase 2 of the negotiations and how confident you are that those can get underway.
We have a lot of power. That was a power room. Those people, those are the richest countries. I think with tariffs, I think we're the richest country in the world, actually, the United States. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. But those are, really seriously rich countries, and they can handle it.
Some of those players, and particularly Erdogan, could they also help in the war between Russia and Ukraine?
Yeah, Erdogan can. He's respected by Russia. Ukraine, I can't tell you about, but he is respected by Putin.
That's the last war Trump needs to stop, chat. He needs to stop Russia and Ukraine. That's the last one.
I don't get along with the weak ones. I get along with the tough ones. I don't know what that is, but Erdogan's been great with me. When NATO has a problem with Erdogan, which they often do, they call me to talk to him. And I've never failed in working it out immediately. Is that right? How's Caroline doing? Is she doing good?
How you doing? Doing great.
Caroline be replaced?
That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Look, that face and those Katie and those lips, they move like a machine gun, right?
Do you want to elaborate on the countries you consider weak?
They really are. Okay, what?
Do you want to comment on the leaders you consider weak who are in that room?
No, I won't comment on that, but you know probably who they are. But anyway. I don't know really. Yeah, there were a couple in the room, but overall, I thought that was an amazing group of people. I don't think they've ever seen an assemblage like that between power, money, et cetera, et cetera. There's never been anything like that. So we're up, but you know what? I have to, because the plane is going to take off. But
Are you
we'll
hosting
come back.
Zelensky at the White House on Friday?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, President Trump.
Thank you.
Have a good time. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, some great things happened today, chat, regarding wars and hostages. Got the hostages to go home. Really good, chat. Let's see what they're saying. They're not saying anything, just more space jams. I think 30 and 5 more minutes. They're gonna be back in 5 more minutes.
Get in? Yes, they started to push illegal migrants.
You know, I thought there would be protest streams today, but because it's a holiday. But I didn't see one single protest stream all damn day. Possible it's too early for Portland, but still didn't see one. I don't know if this music is copywritten. That's why I really don't want to have it on in the background. I think I can put some jams on though while we do wait. Like, I do know a few copyright free songs. Wait, this is so old though. I used to listen to this music every single day on my stream. It's NCS. Oh my god. This as well. This is nostalgia right here. I think we have 3 minutes. Yeah, like 3 minutes. Actually, let's see if they're saying anything right now. They might be speaking. No, not yet. But 2 more minutes, actually. T37. 49. Yeah, any second now.
earlier, there's some adaptive coding in the master computer here that keeps it on track. Do we think we're going to see more of this? I mean, I would imagine on the last flight they were probably weakening the thermal protection system in some portions just to see how far they could push it. But
yeah, I think the real question we've got is, will we have those explosions in the vents that damaged the rear fins? Because if you remember, there was these two, black bangs, and that damage propagated out to those rear fins, flaperons, whatever. And if the front ones didn't have that problem, they were fine. So I think that
deployed is designed to basically be able to detect a missile launch and then transmit that data, where the missile is, where it's heading, directly to a shooter on the ground, whether it's a Patriot missile battery or ATACMS or some other type of interceptor, maybe in the future, even a space-based interceptor with Golden Dome, to be able to take out that missile. So this particular launch is the second of 10 in this generation, but what will eventually be many dozens of SDA launches going forward to deploy this network.
Want to pick up that conversation in just a second, but we're about a minute away from the Raptor in space relight demo, so want to pivot back to the Starship mission for a moment, and then we'll
there's going to be reignition here
on
in a minute.
SDA constellation here in just a second.
We'll see what it sounds like.
It's not a deorbit burn. This is demonstrating essentially all of the systems you would need to do a deorbit burn. So that's obviously your Raptor engine, and then also your header tanks, your smaller tanks in the nose cone, where we have liquid oxygen, liquid methane in a smaller, more easily pressurized container, which we can use for on-orbit burns. And we're also going to tap into those when we do our landing burn. So this will be a critical capability. Once we go to full orbital missions, you'll have to do a deorbit burn to break out of orbit, send it back down to Earth. But in this instance, we're already on our way back down towards Earth. So this is just going to demonstrate the capability of turning one of these engines on. We should be coming up in just about 20 seconds or so, looking for one of those Raptor engines to turn back on. They've been off since we completed that successful ascent burn almost 30 minutes ago.
There they go. Look, top.
Here we
above me.
Oh, Raptor ignition.
They're on. Whoa.
And shut down.
All right, there was that Raptor relight. Looks like engine 3 full duration. As Dan mentioned, that's a third attempt, and we just did it 3 times in a row. So congrats to the team, the ship team, Raptor team. And then there we heard nominal second orbital insertion. All right, so congrats everyone on the milestone. That was awesome to see. We're 3 for 3. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. We'll see you soon.
Congrats to SpaceX. They're just making history back to back to back to back. 10 minutes for Starship to come back into orbit. Oh shit, hold up, let me turn this music off. Okay. I can't get hit off, y'all. SpaceX Elon? Yeah. SpaceX is Elon. Whoa, what the hell? Oh, okay, that's normal. Yeah, I think that, yeah, that's normal, that's normal. I thought disaster struck, y'all. It's good though, we're chilling. Yeah, it's fine. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, maybe for old time's sake. Wait. Actually, on this channel, on my Jacob Snakeup channel, this one right here. Should I just keep it to how I've been doing it? Like protest streams, react streams, talk about breaking news, and then have a different channel for gaming? Or should I do everything on one channel? I need some structure on these streams though, for sure. Some structure so that I can upload vids. Definitely need to upload vids. A gaming channel would be fire. I like both, but I know some people are just into protests and all that. Yeah. Like, I feel like this channel is already it's like a news slash protest slash event type of channel. I could make a gaming channel. I actually have another channel, no videos on it, but I have a channel I could use for gaming. You're the news slash protest streamer. True. I mean, we have one guy. We got BC Preacher up. I can throw him up right now. Maybe there are gonna be protest streams today, chat. Like, if there is, we can stay on. I'll just create a new. How
they are.
A new live stream, right? Because this one is a SpaceX specific, but you know, I'm gonna put protest streams up
here in Portland, Oregon,
because there's nothing happening on the SpaceX streams right now.
I haven't seen no agents or anybody roll up yet. Deepwater says Matt Morris sent you. Thank you, thank you. All right, there goes looks like some employee or maybe an agent rolling in right now. Of course, they're yelling at him or her.
Gotta be the first ever SpaceX slash protest stream. Yeah, not lying. Not lying. Let me go ahead and throw up a fucking game as well.
Right,
let me put some gameplay up here. Give me a sec.
We have a whole bunch of cars that roll in. Not today. Right now.
Dude, some people have like 70,000 viewers on their SpaceX stream.
Nick Shirley is down here.
Nick Shirley is already there. All right, so it does look like it's going down.
So right there you can see, look at that.
More inflatables.
Try to get an interview with them. Let's go see.
It's like anyone can scoop them up right there. If you want, you can just pick them up right there.
I've been here.
pretty unnerving, huh? Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you? What's up, my man?
How you doing?
Good, how are you, man?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, he's trying to tell me that they never sent the National Guard to Memphis, but they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told him it wouldn't be a worst thing in the world. He asked me if I think it'd be a bad idea to send the National Guard here. I'm like, I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world. Might as well give it a shot.
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up?
What's up?
Where'd you grow up?
Here.
Here?
Yeah, all my life.
Yeah. Did you, so you've seen it like when it was a small city?
Of course. When it was a beautiful city?
Yeah. Got to be disconcerting now, right?
What's that?
Got to be disconcerting with this many people?
It's different now.
What was the population back then?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to
Is he checking his knowledge? Sounds like he's
population.
checking his knowledge.
The environment I paid more attention to than the population.
Right. Well, I mean, they go hand in hand, though, right?
It can, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we know this. I mean,
yeah.
You know, violence in cities happens.
Yeah, yes, unfortunately, but I think that's more of a governmental thing than people situation.
I mean, obviously, National Guard for a reason. Why not use them, right?
Right.
It's like.
I think taking drugs is criminal, or is it a mental health issue?
Selling drugs is criminal.
No. Taking drugs
on the street.
An addict. Is a person?
I don't think they should be able to do it on the streets.
What?
I don't think they should be able to do it publicly in the streets.
Agreed. But I'm saying.
All right,
do you think that person is a criminal?
Hold up.
Designed to land on Mars, where there are no runways or other humans
let's
to
finish
help
this up,
out.
though.
So that means we need to do a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes, which is what our Dragon spacecraft uses, or a runway like the Space Shuttle. Propulsive landing enables more rapid reusability.
Now, as the ship makes its way back to Earth, we should start hearing some callouts when we hear entry max heating and entry max Q. That means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through all of those, that's a pretty good sign that we're doing well.
Come on,
yeah, and we heard
let's
flaps have control of the vehicle now. Okay, there's a great shot there. You're starting to see the plasma build up. So we will hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. Transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. All right, a lot of numbers coming up here, but for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85, which is 480 to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour. Right now, we're going a little over 26,000 kilometers per hour. So compare that to the airplane at 930. It's like pretty crazy how fast we're going here. All right, and after we hear the call out that Starship is transonic, we should hear the call out that Starship is subsonic. Subsonic, of course, refers to the speed that is much less than the speed of sound. So at that point, the ship's velocity will be starting to slow down, and we'll be looking a little bit more like some of our suborbital flights from, at this point, almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, so re-entry so far is looking pretty good. You can see that plasma field. Also, again, with those missing tile experiments, especially we're putting the ship through a lot today, but things are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, we're looking good. I do want to remind people that we are pushing ship to the limits. We've done a lot of these missing tile tests. We did it back on Flight 10. Every time we do it, we throw something new and the ship makes it through. This time, we're really pushing it. We've removed these tiles in some of the spots that see the highest level of heating. And we remove tiles that have zero backup protection underneath. So there's essentially just bare steel. It's one of the heat of re-entry. And so do not be surprised if this is not a very smooth flight on the way down. But again, this is intentional. We are trying to find what are the limits for a ship. How resilient are we to these
insane
different issues? that could pop up. If we lose a tile anywhere in the vehicle, we want to know what that ultimate impact is going to be. So we've got a couple missing. We had a bunch pulled over the primary fuel, the LOX tanks, everything. This one, we've got a tile missing right on top. So that's going to see some of the highest temperatures during this re-entry, and there's just bare steel right underneath it. So we're going to see if Starship's robust enough to pull through that. Also have some tiles missing around the aft flaps, specifically on the leading edge. So again, we're getting a really good look right at the leading edge. That's getting really intense heating. So again, gonna see if it can make it through. See if all the flaps hold on, see if Starship holds together. But definitely could be a bumpy ride. Together. But this is why we're flying. This is why we're flying in this part of the world. This is why we're putting Starship through these flight tests to really understand what its limits are. So we can then move on to the next thing, which is going to be bringing ships back to the launch site for a catch. But for now, still on this suborbital, the light show continuing. Keep following it in. I think we got about 15 minutes until splashdown.
Yeah, Dan, it looks, you can see our speed our speed indicator in the bottom left there. It looks like we're starting to scrub off velocity a little bit quicker.
Ship is entering the peak heating phase of flight.
Looks like we can see some clouds down there as we pass through 70 kilometers altitude.
Yeah, the sun's starting to come up again.
Nice, look at that shot.
There we go.
That's a good shot.
Skirt is intact so far this time. If you watched Flight 10, you saw we entered with a little bit missing. That was ultimately traced to a little bit of buildup. We dumped prop on the way. We had a little bit of solid propellant buildup, and then either static discharge or the plasma ignited it, took out a tiny bit of that skirt, some of the aft flaps, but Starship, again, was able to fight through it, make it all the way to that landing burn. We addressed that, changed some of our prop dump con-ups, though, so should not be seeing that this time around.
Yeah, it was like 10 more
minutes
minutes
reminder,
until it's re-entry.
In addition to these missing tile tests, we're doing kind of a unique flight on the way in. It's going to do what we call a banking maneuver. So while we're still going supersonic and even hypersonic, we're doing kind of a banking turn. And then we'll do a pretty aggressive turn right as we get into the subsonic and start doing our belly flop. And that's designed to essentially be the approach that we would do on a return to launch site and a tower catch. So don't be surprised if we see the ship start to turn and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down to the Indian. And fun fact, even though we're doing all this turning, we're essentially targeting the exact same spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last time.
All
right, just about 12 minutes to go. Still looking good. That gives a pretty good view of those aft flaps where, again, on the leading edge, I think it might be on the one on the other side, we had some tiles removed with no backups behind it. So again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around Starship, where basically if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible spot. And if we're able to make it through this, then that tells us quite a bit about just how resilient this vehicle is.
Yeah, and that shot we just had earlier was looking at what we call the business end of Starship with all the Raptor engines. And those are the engines that we're going to be expecting to light for that flip and landing burn, hopefully in about 10 minutes once we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
What is
yeah,
it?
Looking at
those
E3,
the
that's the
clouds,
one.
or is it over like Antarctica
That's the one we
right
did
now?
the relight on.
I think it's over
so
Antarctica.
it's 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if it can go 3 for 3.
No, those are clouds. I think those are clouds, actually. But what the hell? Dude, Earth is huge, man. Damn.
All right, we can see that speed just continue to bleed off under 20,000 kilometers an hour. Ship still holding together.
Yeah, and if you look in the bottom right, it looks like we've made it all the way to the Indian Ocean. We're coming up kind of near Australia, the west side of Australia there. So pretty crazy. We're only 56 minutes in, and we've made it all the way, you know, halfway around the world.
That is crazy.
It's actually a good demonstration of a future capability we hope to have on Starship, where we will do point-to-point transport on Earth. So essentially travel anywhere in the world in about an hour or so, which is, you know, going to be pretty crazy. Imagine going from New York to Sydney in 1 hour instead of the, 20 hours it takes currently.
He's talking about a form of travel right there, going into space to get to the other, to wherever you want to go. It'd be very fast.
And a reminder, so this camera is, we see some of the heat rate picking up a little bit. And this camera is embedded right in the end of one of those forward flaps, so you see it moving around. That's the flap adjusting to maintain control.
It's embedded, so
it's like we're getting into our bank maneuver.
The flap is the camera. That's cool.
Now power sliding through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are coming down. Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
All right, that was basically our reverse max Q, so most aerodynamic stress that it's going to see during reentry, we just passed through it. So we're past that, we're past peak heating.
For transonic.
Ship still holding together. So we're currently in this bank maneuver. We're gonna see it kind of roll over and do a pretty significant shift as we get down closer to the subsonic speeds.
Yeah, and that bank maneuver that Dan's mentioning is all in part of us to learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for return to launch site missions. So in the near future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago, and we've got to do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work out.
All right, the light show kind of calming down as we're starting to move into the lower parts of the atmosphere. We should hit transonic, so hitting that transition between moving faster than the speed of sound and below the speed of sound in just about 3.5 minutes. Our landing burn should happen right around an hour and 6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can see lots of daylight. Everybody cross your fingers, see if our range team was able to get out there and provide any surprise views as Starship makes its way down. Oh, it's like they heard me.
Nice.
Ready and waiting. Let's go.
So we're going to be able to see it crash.
Dan, you just spoke that view into existence there.
Yeah, you did.
And again, all brought to us by Starlink.
Maneuver has started.
All right, there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. And this does almost like a half circle loop to our actual trajectory. We're heading to the same exact splashdown point, but we're kind of doing a more roundabout way to get there, where it's this kind of big, long half moon loop and then a really aggressive and a twist right at the very end. And that would line us up with the launch tower. Starship, on a return to launch site, would fly over the tower, do a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
How about that S38 decal there, staying strong on that view we just had?
Good to see the numbers back on.
Yeah.
No, another like 4 minutes for it to.
All right, should be hitting transonic in about 2.5 minutes. Landing flip coming up in about 4. Pretty cloudy in the Indian Ocean today. Nice. Again, yeah, we changed our launch times. We launch in the evening now, so we get these daytime views down in the Indian Ocean. One of the things we're really looking for, the reason we have the drone, other than, yeah, that looks really cool, is we're able to kind of see the ship. We can only see so much from these cameras. You can't see like the vast majority of the heat shield. So we throw these buoys out there. We've got
you spoke it again, Dan. There it is.
Dude.
They're playing with me in the control room. All right. But we have these buoys out there. We have these drones that we're trying to see.
We're listening in
externally how the heat shield held up. Everybody saw from Flight 10 it had a little bit of a paint job, a little bit of a reddish hue. That was from those metallic tiles that we had tested. Kind of oxidizing really rapidly in that plasma and then spreading those little oxide particles all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting to see that.
Dynamic pressure is coming down.
I forgot what the show is called on Apple TV. The space show. It's about astronauts. It's pretty cool.
Hope nobody gets seasick. All right, coming up on transonic shortly. About 2.5 minutes of landing burn.
Little camera better not lag.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where we have a lot of flight history.
Starship is transonic, starting the belly flop phase of flight.
Yep, that belly flop phase that we perfected in the suborbital campaigns, we're entering that now.
We'll be able to see it 3 times. Top left is live. Bottom left
to get
is like
those
a few seconds
Raptors
behind,
ready. Should be
and then
2
the big
minutes
one
away
is
from landing burn. Again, we're going to
10
do a
seconds
flip.
behind.
After we ignite those engines, we'll go from 3 down to 2 for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown, hopefully by our buoy and drone, which are hanging out, ready and waiting for a ship.
Hopefully it's just right fucking there in front of the camera.
Seeing all 3 center engines have
1 more minute and 35 seconds for splashdown. Let's go. They did so good today, though, chat. I enjoyed this. I won't lie. I enjoyed seeing this, and the ending here is going to be very good.
All right, less than a minute to go.
The ship is making its turn for final approach.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower. Flaps holding strong. Landing burn in just under 20 seconds.
Come on. Oh.
Ship landing
Where
startup.
is it?
There's our landing burn.
Moly.
3 down to 2.
Starship is landed.
Right there into the water. Holy moly. The little camera turn to your left. Oh, look at it explode. Oh, shit.
As we said, we're not planning on recovering the ship today. Hey, welcome back to Earth, Starship.
Nice.
We are down in the Indian Ocean.
That's cool.
Let him hear at Starbase. What a day.
What a flight.
Oh. All right. Welcome back to Earth, ship. What a day. A whole lot more to go through. As you just saw, everybody here at Starbase pretty hyped. Hey, Tyler, out on Hawthorne, how's everybody holding up?
Thank you, Dan. We had a fantastic time watching. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed those Starlink views too.
Brown eye and
so
one,
congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company.
One dark brown.
So many employees contribute to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that wraps it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you for tuning in, and back to you guys.
Nice chat. All right.
Yeah, what an incredible launch today. We had.
Thanks for watching with me, chat. I hope y'all enjoyed watching with me. I enjoyed watching with y'all. Appreciate y'all. There's only like one protest stream that's live right now. And I don't want to go live and just, you know, have one stream to look at. So I'm going to wait, see if there's any other people going to go live in Portland or Chicago or even Memphis. If there is, I'll just go live again on a new stream. But for right now, I think we're good for right now. I'm gonna wait for more people to go live. Appreciate y'all for watching. Thanks for watching this SpaceX Flight 11 launch with me. I'll see y'all on the next stream.